Hello my friend, welcome in a new tutorial. In the previous tutorial we talked about how we can create components. As you know, for writing component there are two approaches, class-based approach create component and anonymous approach to writing or creating components. Today we talk about how we can render component. First of all, we need to create this component, this card for demo, and I work in this tutorial. I show you how we can create this component and reuse this component again and again in our application. For starting the work, I go to the editor for PHP Storm, for example. I created this demo component here, so I need to create a new main page, and after that I will create the component. For this I need the new terminal. Here in the terminal, here I create a new component, for example, personal component, I name it. So I say I use this PHP artisan make component for creating a new component. So I say PHP artisan make and colon and component, and I name it this component, for example, personal component, personal card, for example, personal card, personal card. I think it is okay, and hit enter. Yeah, as you know, see here, the Laravel created for us the component. Any default component have two parts. A class component and a view HTML component. In the view and in the app view and component, the personal class created this personal component. This class have a function, render function. This function return the view which this view place it in the view component. I show you this component here, personal component, in the folder component, personal component. This component here, a view in the resources, a view, and here component. This the view blade PHP here. Let me personal detail, personal card blade. This, as you know, this empty. I create a card here. After I completing the card, I will render or display the card on the main page. For this I need to create a main page, so I go to the view here and create a new file, and a view, and name it main page, main page dot blade .php main page, and hit enter. So I need to go to the bootstrap here and copy for saving time, copy this HTML page. So copy and go back to the PHP Storm and paste it here, paste, and remove this make change here. I name it personal card for testing, P and C. I upload our project on uploaded on the local server. So I need to create a route for this main page. So I go to the web route here in the routes, this web route, and here I create a new page. I say route and route and colon and get, and after that we'll add URL main page. Main I think is enough, and after that I add the anonymous function, and here I add curly braces, and in the end I add semicolon, and here I return view and the view I will call this page personal details or personal main page. This main page, this, yes, I call this main page. I go to the personal card main page blade on the web. Here I say main page, and end by semicolon. I go to the VS Code and call this page. So here I add main, my URL name is main, and hit enter. As you can see, our main page ready. So we need to render or display this card here in this page. So I go back to the editor and complete. I remove this from here and this from here and clear this. Okay, here I need to create a new card. So I remove this and this and say div and name it card class card, and add some attribute, HTML attribute M4 for margin, and add some header and body, header card and body card. So I can div and name it header, and here and the class, this div I add this attribute class card, and for example header, and this here I add the class, class and I must had remove Control X, and this class is header, and I need add the body class card. So I add the div and add some class here in attribute HTML attribute. So I say card body, and here I add this information body. Okay, for create border for this, I think we need to add some style card here in this here, and I say style, and width this will be, for example, 250 pixel, and the height will be, for example, 300 pixel. And border, I need a border, so I say border here, border, and border I think 2 is enough. So this card is ready. I will render this card in the main page. So I go to the main page here. After this, for render any component, we will use this tag. This tag started with by the x dash and name of the component. Let me show you that. X, and after that name of the component. Our component name is personal main. This card is here, personal card plate. I go to the class because we call the class personal card. So I say personal underline card, and in the tag. So I go to the refresh our project. Okay, personal. Let me go back to the here, personal card. L. Let me refresh our project. Yes, this card is empty, this header and this body. I need to move this here in the end of the div. So I go back to the VS Code, to the, for PHP store, and in the personal card blade, I move this by this class, and the deflex, and justify content dash content, and I think this HTML attributes will move the card in the end of the div. Let me refresh our project and we will see if our work is work fine, good or not. So I refresh. You can see our project, our component moved here. So I need to give it some color. So I go to the editor, and here I say border primary, for example. Border primary. I think this code. So I go to the VS Code and refresh. Yes, you can see here our card or our component is created, and we can render the component in the main page. In the next episode, we talk about how we can render the information, how can display or how can pass information to this component. I think this enough in this episode, because the time of the episode beyond the 14 minutes. This enough. Thank you for watching. If this episode useful to you, please give me your feedback about this this episode, because your feedback, whatever this negative or the positive, it would help me to improve my work and remove my mistake in the future, in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and I give me in the comment box your feedback about this tutorial. I see you later in the next episode. Thank you and goodbye.